So, Mr. President, I thank you for this opportunity to stand on a personal and collective privilege today. I stand here in strong condemnation of an ugly phenomenon that has planted its roots in Philippine society. Last Monday, I would like to put on record, I was extremely disappointed that the President did not mention anything about the ills of online gambling during his State of the Nation address. Earlier this month, I filed the Anti-Online Gambling Act, together with several of my colleagues here. I believe both Senators Raffy and Erwin Tulfo, Senator Joel Villanueva, Senator Cayetano, Senator J.V. Ejercito, Senator Risa Ontiveros, Senator Lauren Legarda, and Senator Robin Padilla, and many more, Mr. President, which generated a lot of interest from our people. As a matter of fact, with one post of mine, it garnered hundreds of thousands of likes and millions of views from our people. I think this was the most I've ever gotten from one of my posts alone. Although many measures that were filed were for regulation, mine, I believe, together with some of us here, are most hardline, which is a call for a total ban. Kaya po siguro talagang nag-viral ang mga headlines tungkol dito dahil halos nalunod po ako sa dami ng messages of support na natanggap ng aking opisina tungkol sa Anti-Online Gambling Act. At malinaw ang sigaw ng ating mamamayan. Tama na ang online gambling. Itigil na natin ito. Tawagin niyo na po akong sirang plaka, pero hindi ko po tatantanan ang isyong ito hanggat hindi natin tuluyan na pupuksa ang sakit na ito na sumisira sa buhay ng ating mga kababayan. One of the messages that really struck me was from my first press con. A mayor of mine in Bukidnon, Mayor Jimboy Angrabanes, was watching me live and texted me in support of our measure, saying that it is high time that we ban online gambling, especially since one of their constituents just recently lost his life to this. Sabi ni Mayor, isang 16-year-old varsity student daw po ang kumupit ng 100 pesos sa mga magulang niya para itaya sa online gambling. Marahil maliit lang po yung 100 pesos, pero sa ibang pamilya, lalo na sa mga liblib na purok, napakalaking halaga po nito. Ano pong nangyari? Natalo ang itinaya ng 100 pesos at para mabawi ito, sinubukan niya ulit pumusta, tumaya ulit ng 100 pesos mula-muli sa pera ng kanyang mga magulang. But we all know how this ends, Mr. President. Natalo lang po siya ulit. Sa sobrang hiya ng bata, siguro siya po ay hindi gano'ng kayaman at siguro nakuha niya po ito galing sa savings ng kanyang mga magulang. Ano pong ginawa niya? Nagpakamatay po siya, Mr. President. He was only 16 years old. This is a true story. And this is happening all over. As a matter of fact, Senator Kiko Pangilinan, the gentleman from Quezon City and Pampanga, just told me, kamag-anak ng empleyado mo, nagpakamatay din. Hay nako, mga kababayan. Even my good friend, Kyle Jennerman, or better known as Kulas, from Becoming Filipino Vlogs, also shared his sad encounter with a jeepney driver addicted to online gambling. 20 million views po yung kanyang message at shares, napakarami, million in shares. Nakwento po ni Kulas na nakasakay daw siya sa isang jeepney nang napansin niya na si Manong driver ay tingin ng tingin sa cellphone buong pasada. Ayon pala, naglalaro na siya ng online slots at paulit-ulit daw ang pag-load ng 50 pesos para makataya ulit. Tataya, matatalo. Magsasakay ng pasahero, tataya, matatalo. Magbababa ng pasahero, walang katapusan. Lahat ng pinaghirapan ni Manong driver sa buong araw na kanyang pagmamasada, naubos sa ilang oras lamang on online gambling. Ano ngayon ang iuwi niya sa kanyang pamilya? What is really concerning about this online gambling phenomenon, Mr. President, is that it seems to thrive amongst our most vulnerable sectors, our working class, our minimum wage earners, and even our children. This is very different from your gamblers who go to casinos. Wala po akong pakialam kung gusto nyo po mag-casino. May dala po kayong pera, punta po kayo dyan. Lalabas ka talaga outside your comfort zone at pupunta po kayo dyan. Pupunta kayo na Sabungan kada linggo. Linggo lang po yan at Sabado. Yung dalawang yun, limited ang clientele nila. Sa online gambling, mga kapatid, mga kababayan na nakikinig po na yon, sa online gambling, everybody welcome. Everybody happy. Lalong-lalo na ang mga operator. At deadly ang online gambling. Dahil pwede po ito anytime, anywhere. Basta may cellphone at internet connections, pwede nang maglaro at malulong. In other words, Mr. President, we brought gambling into our homes. We opened our doors in our homes for gambling. Our workplaces, and even our places of worship. Tama sinabi po ni Senator Cayetano, pati mga simbahan, habang nakikinig sa sermon, naglalaro ng scatter. Pwedeng tumaya pagkagising sa umaga. Pwedeng tumaya habang nakaupo sa kubeta. Pwedeng sa gitna ng trabaho. Pwede sa biyahe pa uwi. Pati 10 oras ng gabi habang nakahiga na at patulog na sana, pwede pa rin. Dahil hindi naman nagsasara ang online gambling. 24/7 ito, mga kababayan. It also invites users to throw in any amount of money they want. Kahit hindi na mayaman, maengganyo ka na tumaya, mga kapatid. Kasi pwede namang 20 pesos, 50 pesos, meron nga 5 pesos at 10 pesos na taya. Ito na po, mga kababayan, ang bagong weteng. Digital na, pang pamilya pa. Pero yung unti-unting 20 pesos, 50 pesos, lolobo po yan, Mr. President. Hanggang hindi na mamalayan ng ating mga kababayan, naubos na pala ang inipon nila sa bangko at sa GCash. Or worst, lubog na sila sa utang. Mr. President, gambling addiction is a disease. And by allowing online gambling to continue, we are essentially allowing the disease to pervade in our homes, crippling our people under the guise of harmless fun. According to the statistics of the World Casino Directory, the Philippines now holds the dubious honor of being the gambling capital of Asia. Hindi na po yung Macau, hindi na po yung Singapore. We are now the gambling capital of Asia with 79 licensed casinos operating in the country. We even bested Cambodia with its 48 casinos and Macau with only 47. Let me repeat, Mr. President, we are now the gambling capital of Asia. Nakakahiya po ito. This is nothing to be proud of. Luho at addiction po itong pasusugal at number 1 tayo dito. Ito ba ang gusto ng ating Pangulo na maging legasiya niya, paglabas po niya itong 2028, pagbaba po niya sa kanyang tungkulin bilang Pangulo. The question is, how did it come to this, Mr. President? The answer, of course, is in the numbers. In 2024, online gambling operations gave PAGCOR gross gaming revenues of over 135 billion pesos, a dramatic increase to the 33 billion gross gaming revenues of the year before. The combined e-games and e-bingo net income came to about 48.79 billion, contributing to almost 50% of PAGCOR's record high income of 112 billion, marking a 41% increase from the 79 billion net income in 2023. From this 112 billion, Mr. President, PAGCOR was able to give 68.2 billion back to the country as contributions to nation building. I want to give you the numbers first so that I may sound objective. This year's revenues are ramping up to be even bigger. For the first half alone, the gross gaming revenues for e-games have already hit 114.83 billion. First 6 months, 114.83 billion. And we are only halfway into the year. We're already sure to exceed the 135 billion gross e-game revenues last year. We can attribute the ballooning success of online gambling to PAGCOR's reduction of fees. Binabaan pa nila yung fees nila. From 35% down to 30%. A policy that took effect beginning January this year. The money that operators save in PAGCOR's fees could then be put out to other expenses like marketing, advertising, which explains why the proliferation of flashy online gambling ads with our country's biggest stars. Safe to say, online gambling operations are going to be raking in high record numbers again by year end. So they have promised, PAGCOR has promised to give more funds to government social programs such as AICS, 4Ps, MAIP, TUPAD, and all other social initiatives that the President promised in his recent State of the Nation address. Mr. President, these are good and worthy causes, no doubt. But at what cost, Mr. President? At what cost? Dapat malaman ng taong bayan na ang kinita ng PAGCOR dyan galing sa mga bulsa ng ating mga mamamayan, mga tatay, mga nanay, mga lolo at lola, ang ating mga anak at mga apo nalulung na sa sugal. Matutumbasan ba natin ang mga buhay na nasira ng online gambling? Ang mga pamilyang nawasak? Ang mga kabataan na pariwara? Shame on you, PAGCOR. Shame on you, operators of online gambling. Kung may isang Pilipino tayong tinutulungan dahil sa kinikita ng bayan sa online gambling, panigurado ako na libong-libong Pilipino ang nagdururusa ngayon at lubog sa utang dahil nalulung sa gambling. Kung may isang bata tayong mapapaaral mula sa online gambling, mas maraming mga bata rin ang hindi nakakapag-aral dahil na-addict na, kasama na kanilang mga magulang sa scatter at iba't iba pang mga laro sa kanilang cellphone. It is a vicious cycle, my dear colleagues. The government through PAGCOR earns big revenues at the expense of broken families, broken dreams. Mapapantayan po ba natin ang kita ng gobyerno sa mga buhay ng nasira at buhay na nawala dahil sa online gambling? Hindi pa ba tayo natuto sa nangyari sa e-sabong? If we do not nip this issue in the bud, if we do not set a total ban on online gambling, we may find ourselves slowly but surely morphing into a gambling state. I do not mean a gambling capital, which we already are, my dear colleagues. I'm talking about a gambling state similar to a narco state. What do I mean by that? I mean that with the presidential and national elections in the offing come 2028, we might elect public officials aided by and beholden to online gambling lords with massive war chests and deep-seated interest in keeping our people chained to their phones, forever betting and losing. Gambling is a losing game, ika nga. Talo ang bayan at taong bayan dito. But there are few winners, and I'm not referring to the few times that you might win and make your money back on online slot machines. When I say winners, I mean the real winners are the operators who pocket all their hard-earned money that our people desperately throw into online gambling. A fact is, when the President did not mention anything about online gambling and at least a move to curb its addiction to its people, the stocks of online gambling in the SEC, in the stock exchange, the PSE, increased so much by several percentages, Mr. President. Lalo pa silang yumaman dahil wala pong naibanggit ang ating mahal na Pangulo. And in time, these operators will not just win by making money, Mr. President, but will also be harnessing and wielding political influence in the corridors of power. In my press con, Mr. President, I said this. We need political will. Mahirap ang mga kalaban na ito. Ang iba, politiko. Ang iba, kamag-anak na mga politiko. Mayaman masyado, mga bilyonaryo. Katulad ng sinabi po ng dating Pangulong Duterte, mga oligarchs po ito. But we have to stop this, Mr. President. If not, lahat po ng ating pamilya ay may biktima na sa online gambling. Using the words of the President, mahiya naman kayo sa mga pamilyang winawasak ninyo dahil sa online gambling. My worry, my dear colleagues, is that a time will come that online gambling, due to the sinful money they earn, they will continue to lord it over for the next decades. So my dear colleagues, I appeal to you. I beg you, let us act now. Let us set the policy right while we still can. Maraming salamat, Mr. President, and I leave my faith to the Senate of the Republic of the Philippines. Mabuhay po tayo na.
Thank you, Senator Mig Subiri.